Hey, welcome to another heavy metal diecast video, and today we have here is from Hobbymaster and is a 1/72nd scale diecast Boeing AH-64 Apache. The Apache is an American attack helicopter that was originally developed by Hughes Helicopters, and then Hughes was bought by McDonnell Douglas, and then which in turn itself was then merged with Boeing, which now continues to manufacture the Apaches to this date. And since its introduction to the US military service in 1986, around 2,400 of these beasts have been built in all variants, and it still remains in active service with the US and some other military forces around the world. So these have seen combat in many areas of conflict, like Iraq and Afghanistan, and this particular one is from Afghanistan in 2011. And it is in a typical Hobbymaster sort of box. It comes in a nice sort of a packet in there. It's all snug in there. It's got some foam protection and everything there. It comes with a couple of little pilots. That chain gun must have to be assembled on there. This is brand new, and it has some details in the flap. It took me a while to pull the trigger on this because normally they go for like over $200. And as I said, this is brand new, and I actually got it at a very good price from an Australian seller. Thank you, Brett. I got this for $120, so it was a bargain, and I just couldn't justify spending over $200 for a little helicopter. So, but what we'll do is we'll get this out of the box so we can all have a real good look at it. So this is out of the box, and it comes in the standard sort of blister pack. It does have tie down, so you do have to take the tie down off before you can open the actual plastic part of it. It actually comes with a lot of tie downs, so you do have to remove all these obviously before you can remove that helicopter out of the packet, and we'll quickly do that off camera right now. So with those tie downs off, we can actually have a look at the aircraft itself. It does come with the ordnance, so it does have some Hydra rocket pods and some Hellfire missiles, and what looks to be some wiper blades that need to be put on as well. Geez, that's going to be fun. That's pretty cool. And as I said, obviously there's the chain gun is just sitting in there, so the 30mm chain gun has to be affixed to the front, and it does have a couple of pilot figures if you want to use them. That's if you want to put figures in yours. So we should be able to grab this beast out and have a look. It actually is surprisingly reasonably, has a little bit of sort of weight to it. Not overly heavy, but it doesn't feel light, cheap or nasty. I do have a cheap one, and it does feel considerably cheaper. And in the manufacturing side of it, it does seem very cheaply made, but this one is, the detail on it is very nice. So what I'll do is I'll get that foam off, so because I don't think that was a military issue, and we'll have a little look. So it is all pretty much assembled. You do have to be a little bit careful because there is a lot of tiny little fiddly bits that are all hanging off it, so you don't want to break those. Definitely you don't want to break them. The detail is very nice. This particular aircraft is one from the 1st Battalion 10th Combat Aviation Brigade, Tigersharks, which was in Afghanistan. Yeah, the 10th Combat Aviation Brigade was created in 1965 and has performed distinguishedly in its role that it was created for. It did have a brief period of deactivation from, I think, 1980 to 1988, but it was reactivated once again mid-1988 and has been in active service since, performing in all areas of conflict. But I think overall, this actual rendition itself is very tidy. We'll have a real good look. So obviously you do have to affix the ordnance on it. It has got some fantastic engine detail for such a, and even the cockpit details, really nice. We'll go and have a look at down the tail and have a real good look. It does come up nicely. We'll sort of flip her over and have a bit of a look there. You can see those lovely panel lines. The coloration is very nice. It's all a solid green or olive. And I think overall it's definitely a nice unit. I'm still very dubious about paying, if I had to pay over $200 for something of this sort of size. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's, you know, sausage finger test. It's not exactly the hugest of helicopters. I'll just put it down on the deck gently. Look, it's a great example of an AH-64 Apache. I think it's a fantastic. It is one of the best ones I have seen. It is fantastic. I do have a cheaper one, but I think this one right here is really well done. The details on it, obviously, that does turn. The main rotor does turn. It turns a lot more freely. Does spin quite freely. Obviously, the ordnance has to be put on. I will chuck that on. I'll chuck the ordnance on and take photos of that. I won't do that now. And the same with the stand. But what I will do is I'll show you this. And so, in retrospect, normally this is around $200. Well, here in Australia it is. And I, lucky enough, got it from an Australian seller, still brand new, but at a good price. Thank you again, Brett. And but it's going to be down to your own opinion if you want to spend that kind of money on this, which is a superbly made one, or if you'd rather spend $30 on this, which not so superb, but I mean, if you're talking budget, it's a lot less detailed, a lot less finesse. It's a little bit, sits a little bit sort of, you know, not 100%, but it comes down to your preference of how accurate you want your particular models to be. If you want a budgety one and you don't really care about too much if it looks really, really good, spend your $30. But if you want a top-notch one that's fantastically made and really accurate looking, and the lines and everything are beautiful, this guy right here is the one to go for. This is a fantastically made one, and I absolutely love it. I'm just glad I got it at the right price. So goodbye, cheapy one, and we will welcome Hobby Master with open arms. And as I said, I think it's a beast. I love it. It's fantastic, and I love an Apache. I remember being a kid riding for hours to my local aviation shop to buy a poster for an Apache. When I was a kid, I used to love playing a game called Gunship on, I think it was the Commodore 64, so showing my age, probably most of you have never heard of that computer. But I spent a lot of my youth playing that game and shooting Hellfires into tanks, which was fantastic. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned to the conclusion of this video, which is coming up now, to see the pics. And this will be completed with the Hellfires and the Hydras on and on the stand and everything like that, so you can see it as it would be completed with the chain gun and everything, all affixed and everything on there. All right, thank you once again for sticking with me and watching another one of my videos. And if you did like it, find it interesting at all, throw us a like. That'd be awesome. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. That'd be fantastic as well. All right, guys, thank you so much. And you guys take care of yourself. Have a great day. Cheers, guys.